Okay, hi guys, welcome to the first Hypegirl podcast. My name is Morgaine and this is my beautiful friend Tailah. And today we're just kind of gonna introduce you to the first of many Hypegirl podcasts. They're just gonna be uplifting, positive, relatable. I think that we could cover so many different subjects and just sort of have some banter, some good banter. Basically, if you don't know who I am, my name is Morgaine, I'm 24 from Auckland. If you've come here from Instagram or just anywhere from the interweb, I welcome you and hope that you are here to stay. So today we're sort of just going to talk about what our aim is to achieve with the Hypegirl podcast. Hypegirl is an Instagram account I started, and I sort of just wanted to bring a more positive vibe to Instagram. I know it can get nasty sometimes, so yeah, I just wanted to inspire people. I'm a hype girl myself. I really get joy out of making people feel good and uplifting people, so I really just wanted to make a space like that, and it's a collaborative space. I have started doing some takeovers where I get other Instagrammers from New Zealand to pop onto the Instagram and just go and like photos and comment on photos and support other people, and then do some stories just sharing something about themselves or something relatable or inspiring, and I think it's doing well. So this is the first podcast and we're kind of just going to see how it goes and set like a tone for the rest of them. I'll have different people on different podcasts. Today, Tailah is on and she is really a passionate person. She can get triggered a lot, so I thought it was the perfect person to have on because we love to chat. So yeah, where should we start, Tailah? How are you anyway?
I'm good, you know? I'm good.
Okay, the mic just fell over.
Okay.
So that's what that was. But yeah. How are
I'm
you?
good.
That's good. Yeah, are you excited for the Hypegirl era?
I am. Ever since I started following it,
Yeah.
I definitely have been very excited.
That's good.
Especially to know that you run it.
Yeah.
So it's a lot more personal, I suppose.
Yeah, a lot of people have come over from my Instagram or Sand and Scarf Instagram, my business, and I think that they're excited to see that it's coming from me as well, because a lot of people know that I am like a hype girl. I just really love uplifting people. Like, my passion is to make others feel good. Like, when I take my friends' photos, everyone always is like, okay, take my photos, because I'm like, yes, girl, get that angle. So yeah, I'm really excited to see where it takes us.
Yeah.
And it's good to have you on the first episode.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
But yeah, so I firstly wanted to talk about our lives, sort of, just like what our day-to-day life is, just to give people an idea of you know, what we're going through day to day. A lot of people in their 20s struggle with not knowing what they want to do, or that they're not like where others are. They see other people on Instagram in this place, in this space, and they think like, oh, far out, like, how come I'm not there? Like, I'm working hard, I'm striving to get to this place. But yeah, I feel like everyone in their 20s is in that mindset where they're just like, either don't know what they want to do, or they know what they want to do and they don't know how to get there, or they're trying to get there and they're struggling and they're feeling down because other people are in a different place to them or are more successful at that point. So yeah.
Yeah, well, I definitely feel the same. It's perfect timing for this podcast, because definitely in the last week I feel like I'm very stuck where I am, and I kind of feel like I'm just stuck in this routine and just doing the same thing over and over again, and I'm going to work and I'm coming home, and, you know, like Brayden, my partner, and I will cook dinner and just all the household chores and things like that. So you do feel very stuck, but you have to remember that we are only in our 20s. You see people in their 30s, 40s living life, you know.
Yeah.
It's just about practicing responsibilities that you're going to have as you're older. So it's all about learning. It's not, you don't have to be at your goal place right now. There's absolutely no need for it, because this is completely a time to learn about just going through life. You're going to be put up against tests and everything like that you're going to need to go through as, you know, an older adult. So I do think that this kind of time is important to just have a rest. You're learning all the responsibilities that you're going to have as you get older and how to deal with those responsibilities, as well as trying to be young and go out and go clubbing and have fun and everything like that. So it's really a mixture. But yeah, it's just about learning and not being so down about the fact that you are just...
I didn't think of it in that way, actually, that like you're sort of preparing for like the rest of your life. You're like kind of practicing your, like, you know, home skills.
Well, yeah, you are, because I mean, yeah, you're not going to be
practicing commitment.
Exactly. You're not going to find everything that you're set out to find in your life right now.
Exactly.
You've got so many years. Like,
we've
got 60 years, you know, if we live that long to 80.
Well, hopefully they've got technology where we can live till 200.
Exactly,
so.
but you know, you've got 60 years. What do you think you're going to be doing? Everything you're doing right now for the next 60 years? It's so... You have absolutely no idea what is going to happen in the future. As long as you just remember to bring yourself back, be present, and not stress too much about what's going on in your life, because I can 100% guarantee that everybody watching this, if you've got a computer, if you've got a phone, you're all doing so much better than a lot of people out there.
Oh, totally.
Millions and millions of people out there.
There's people worse off. And, like, even a lot of people message me and they're like, oh, you know, you're killing it with Sand and Scarf. And I'm like, thank you so much. But also, like, remember, I'm sort of not as well. There's so much more I want to do with it. And I want to make it bigger and everything. But the facade that you put out there online is different to what, like, you're actually going through in real life. Like, I have heaps of struggles with Sand and Scarf. And it's, like, not even close to where I, like, really want it to be. Yeah. So, and I struggle with, like, you know, how, like, you said you, like, have, like, a mundane job that you go to, and then you come home and cook and then sleep, and you feel like, where is it all going?
Just autopilot.
Oh, like, I totally feel like that as well. Like, I have a full-time job, admin job that I go to, and then I come home and then I'm tired. Yeah. So I'll, like, nap or watch Netflix, and then the weekend will roll around, and then I just feel like, oh my God, like, what did I actually do this week? Just, like, work and, you know.
And it's so cool, because I definitely think that ever since we've become such good friends, and I know not just, like, your Instagram side, and I know your real life side, it's really, like, it makes me feel good to realise that you are normal. And I know everybody says that all the time. I know everyone always posts on Instagram and says, you know, don't take everything so seriously kind of thing. Like, everyone looks happy on Instagram. Everyone's just posting the good stuff and all that. Not that you always do. You always post very real stuff, which is another thing that I appreciate and that all your followers will appreciate so much. But it just makes me feel like, okay, I'm not doing too bad. You know, Morgaine is killing it, but she's not some, you know, she's not a millionaire in America who's just posting in Calabasas, and she's not, you know, so it's so good that you show us all that it's not completely glamorous 24/7.
Yeah, I feel like the whole Instagram influencer, like influencer,
influencer
right now. A lot of people think, like, they're either grounded and then they get like a good following going, and then collaborate with all these brands, and they sort of, like, forget about where they started or forget about the reason why they're doing it. Like, why are you being an influencer? Like, what are you trying to influence? Just people to buy product? Yeah. Like, I'm not, that's not what I want to do. And I fell into that space where I was actually just, like, focusing on, like, promoting products, and I'm like, gotta get all these brand deals and everything like that, and I kind of, like, forgot about why I started and what I wanted to do. So that's why I also wanted to do Hypegirl, because I wanted to remind people that I'm not just here to show you what new sunscreen's coming out and what new beauty products are coming out. Exactly. That Sephora's opening. Like, I'm here to, like, give you inspiration. I'm here to show you that, like, being in your 20s is great, but it's also, like, shit.
It's really hard. It is really hard.
And don't let anyone tell you that it's not hard and that it's, like, all fairies and daisies, because it's absolutely... It's not. It's a struggle.
It is.
And you've just got to, like, keep going, keep grinding, and work towards your dreams.
I 100% agree.
Yeah. So what are your dreams? Do you have a vague
I
dream?
definitely, I have a vague dream, and I feel so boring saying this. I really do, because I always feel like
no dream is boring. Everyone's so different.
I know,
Everyone
and
wants different things.
it's so like there's so many different ways that you can answer that question, I suppose. But I'm definitely like, I really do. So I'm with someone right now, obviously. I have a partner. I definitely see him in my future for sure. Definitely, whether it's immediate or long term. I 100% see him in my future regardless. But I'm very much, I want the white picket fence, you know, not necessarily like the fake family or whatnot, but I definitely want to own a house eventually. No rush. There is absolutely no rush. There's no rush. I'm not talking about in the next 2 years. You know what I mean? Like, I think by the time I'm 30, that's a pretty good age to even, if by then I'm looking for a house, then perfect. That's amazing. Yeah. But, and I mean, definitely want children, and I do want to be married and everything. So I guess a lot of people have those dreams. They're kind of like your normal dreams. Yeah. In the terms of career-wise, I think I definitely want to be high up. Yeah. In some sort of company or some sort of career choice. Yeah. As anybody would. Yeah. I think I'm learning right now.
Figuring it out as you go.
Yeah, and I think I'm really learning to kind of, because both of my parents have moved. So neither of them are in Auckland. I've got my mum who's in Perth, and I have my dad who's in Nelson. Yeah. So I'm definitely just trying to learn to be in the moment, per se, rather than stress too much, because I have had a lot of issues, especially recently, with like anxiety, and everybody who has gone through that, I'm sure everybody in our age does. Yeah. But it's just kind of like, I really need to learn to just take a step back and be like, you don't know what the future holds. There's no point in worrying about it. Absolutely. So as long as I'm just bringing myself back to where I am now, appreciating what I've got now, then everything will work out, and I will get what I desire in the end, because I will eventually work for it when it's, you know, the time for it to come to me.
Yeah, I feel like everyone has sort of different paths that they take, and you've just got to sort of look at your failures and losses as like blessings.
Of course, 100%. Everything is a lesson, and as long as you remember that, you're always, always, always going to be striving for something, and you're not going to be scared. You're not going to be anxious, because you know that regardless of the pain you feel or regardless of what's going on, it is all just a learning lesson. 1,000,000%.
And sometimes you don't see that in amongst it. No. But like a year from when something really crappy happens, you sort of like see the light in it almost. Yeah. You know, and I mean, last year for me was terrible, but I feel like that then changed me to, it changed my outlook on life.
Well, it does.
It sounds so cheesy.
It does.
It totally did. And now I just try and focus so hard. I'm not perfect. No one's perfect. I can be shitty some days. Yeah. You know, but I just really try hard to be kinder. Yeah. Be more positive, and just think about like what everyone else is going through. Yeah. So many people are going through their own struggles and their own crap.
Whether you see it or not.
Oh, exactly. Like, if someone looks like they got it together, they probably don't. No. Because no one does, I don't think.
No, nobody does. There's absolutely nobody in this world. And as hard as it is, it's like, everyone's life, like, I always find with mine especially, like, everything goes perfect. And I know this is so horrible to say, but there are obviously little bumps in the road. Yeah. And so, of course, when you're in a high, you know, you're going so good for so long, of course, the kind of smallest thing, or, you know, if something really happens, it really does push you back a lot, you know? So I definitely feel like I kind of go like up and down during the years.
That's so true. You know, like do you feel like when everything sort of is going right and you're like, oh, I'm so happy, this is happening, and then I always stop and think, shit, it's been going good for a while, something bad is going to happen soon.
But that's your anxiety for sure. Like, that's 1,000,000% your anxiety. And I, like, because for so long, growing up and stuff, I didn't have the best life, and I was with a single mum and everything like that, so we didn't have the best life. We didn't have any money, and I was bouncing from house to house as I was young, and so I was kind of surviving, and so I didn't give myself a moment to actually feel anything that was kind of traumatic that did happen to me as I was younger. And now that I'm in a safe environment and I have time and I have the safety net underneath me to really feel everything, I do get a lot more anxious because I've had everything taken away from me. And so now I feel like everything's perfect. So what if it happens?
True. It's
such a vicious cycle to not let yourself feel that way. You have to let yourself feel no matter what's going on, but it's such a vicious cycle because you can't expect that.
Yeah, true.
Because you're going to always be worried about it. And if you're always worried about your future or anything like that, it's just going to end up, you're going to be hurt more than once because you're just worried about it, and then if something bad happens, then,
It's sort of like you've got to look at it as, like, what these bumps in the road. I heard, Sky Wheatley.
Yeah.
She's been in a bit of trouble lately.
I did see that video.
Spousal abuse and that.
Yeah.
But she recently, I think yesterday, said something like she was having a good day and then something would happen and it was like a bump in the road and then another thing would happen. She was getting so down and negative about the day, and then she just thought, like, hang on, like, I should focus on what I'm grateful for.
Yeah.
And that's so true. Like, when something really crappy happens, if you've got a good mindset, you should focus on what is good. There's so many people out there have a worse life.
Yes.
Like, you could be living in somewhere in a part of the world where there is a war going on. There's terrible things happening out there right now as we speak, and we've got it so good, and we don't realise how good we have it. Like, we've got a safe environment, we've got a job, we've got roofs over our head. So many people have it worse off. So I've just got to, like, sort of, when stuff happens like that, I've got to, like, bring myself back down. Yeah.
Well, that's what being present is about as well, because I definitely feel like I was struggling for quite a while with, like, anxieties and everything like that, and I felt every time that I would hear that, like, be grateful and practice gratitude and everything like that, there was just a wall in my head, so it would come in and just bounce off, and I couldn't push past that. I couldn't actually sit there and focus on, because I was so focused on the negatives. True. And it was it's really hard to get it through that wall. But beside being grateful and beside realizing how good our lives are, especially here in New Zealand, we have it so well. And I know there are things going on. I'm not going to take away from the fact of everything that goes on in our country, no matter what.
Oh yeah, because there's a lot of people in our country that are struggling.
Oh, of course. And all we can do is live our lives, though, and be grateful for what we've got and everything like that. And I understand that, but you just need to bring yourself back to the present and realize, what can I do now? What is affecting me now? And how can I help that? And what can I do to help the people in my immediate surroundings? Yeah,
that's true.
That's all you can do, is just be present. As long as you're present, then you're not gonna stress too much.
And be present for other people.
Yeah, 100%.
I remember when I finished high school, I went straight to the University of Auckland. I was at Elam School of Fine Arts, and I didn't stay there long, and that was purely because, like, some days I just couldn't even get on the bus. I had the worst anxiety in the world, and that's where my anxiety started. Before I attended uni, that space after high school and before uni, I went through, like, anxiety for the first time ever, and I didn't know what it was. I ended up going to the doctor one time. The doctor was like, "Nope, you're all good." I'm like, but I can't leave the house. Every time I leave the house, I feel sick. I'm always complaining that I feel sick. I'd get in the car to go to, like, Look Sharp. Then halfway to Look Sharp, just 5 minutes down the road, I'm like, Mum, like, we have to turn around. I want to go home. Like, I can't, So then I tried to, like, prepare myself to then go to uni while I'm experiencing, like, anxiety where I just, like, don't want to leave the house or can't see friends and stuff. Like, even friends going out for, like, sushi, I was just, like, so freaking nervous. Yeah. And so I went to uni, and it was terrible. Sometimes I'd leave during the day. I'd, like, go to the bathroom, and I'm just like, oh my God, I feel so anxious. Yeah. Sometimes I couldn't get on the bus, and then I just ended up not going. Yeah. And then to explain to my parents, like, why I wanted to drop out of uni, they were just like, why? I'm just like, oh, that's not the right course for me. I don't want to spend $40,000 on this when I'm not really passionate about it. And I sort of wasn't passionate about that part anyway, the anxiety on top of that. But everything happens for a reason. Oh, everything I dropped out of
certainly
uni.
Does. Exactly. And look at where you are now, for sure. And it's really hard because everybody deals with depression and anxiety in their daily life. It's not necessarily, you don't have to be diagnosed with anything. You don't have to be taking medication. But there are just a certain people who have it heightened, who are
totally
exactly like
people
that,
worse off than what I experienced. Oh, yeah. Definitely. I remember talking about my experience with anxiety, and I was sort of, like, giving tips almost on from what I was experiencing, how I dealt with it, just to, like, maybe help someone. If it didn't help anyone, fair enough, because everyone's so different.
Everyone is so different.
But I remember someone messaging me being like, oh, but, like, like you experience anxiety, but you've got a job. Some people can't have a job because of it. And I'm like, I totally, like, I'm not saying that, like, oh my god, I have anxiety.
Yeah, no.
Like, I'm so bad.
I think that's a huge
Everyone's
thing as
so-
well, though. Nowadays, I think
It's like a competition. Who's got the worst anxiety?
And you know what? Like, just to make it like really real here, like I can remember experiencing anxiety for the first time when I was 18.
Yeah.
And I was catching the bus to and from work to the city, and I remember having this like extremely painful. And I remember having butterflies as a kid, and it would be exciting. Like something exciting is going to happen. You've got butterflies and kind of that. I remember the day that those butterflies turned into absolute pain in my stomach because I was that worried about just anything. I was going home to a really, really, like, a not good environment.
Yeah.
I was not going home to a good environment. It was not a nice place to be. And I would be on the bus to home and I'd be like, oh my god, I wish I could stay the night at my work. You know what I mean? Like, and it turned into pain.
Yeah.
And it took me, so I'm 22 now.
Yeah.
And it took me until that night we went out for dinner and I told you that I'd just seen the doctor. It took me that many years to go to a doctor because so many people normalize it.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it shouldn't be normalized. I think it should be spoken about. But I don't think it's fair for people to sit there and say, oh my god, that like the look of that table gives me anxiety. Like I just think that's so ridiculous.
Yeah.
And it hurts and it's offensive because now I can't bring up my anxiety because it's almost like a fashion thing, you know what I mean? Like it's almost like people just throw the word around when they don't actually have it about, you know, ridiculous things that they think are just, they over-exaggerate it.
You know what? Maybe, it's such like a hard and touchy topic too.
It is,
People have different opinions on it, and that's absolutely fine. Like everyone's allowed to have their opinions on it.
Yeah, and it's not.
But from obviously you experience anxiety. I don't experience it so much now. Yeah. But obviously you're like in it right now. Yeah. And so as someone who's like in it, and then people around you sort of like joking about anxiety, like, oh my god, like
and it could just come down to
maybe they sort of just have nerves, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
And it's interesting how that affects people who do have really bad anxiety, like. Truly.
Exactly, and like that doesn't, like it doesn't have to, not everybody's friends could be like that, and it's not like my good friends who are like that, but it's definitely people who I'm around that would say things like that without, and it would be kind of insensitive, and I know they wouldn't mean it. They wouldn't be sitting here, you know, trying to make fun of anybody with mental health or anxiety or anything like that, but... Because
it's such a... mental health is just such a tricky
topic. It is
so... And I'm not even really truly, I mean, to be honest, I'm not truly clued up on...
Oh, neither am I.
On it.
No.
You know, I just kind of like go by my own experiences and then my friends' experiences.
Exactly.
I know there's people out there who are worse off, and I've got, immediate members of my family who've committed suicide.
Yeah.
So I understand the importance of being there for people with mental health issues.
Exactly. Yeah.
But that's
no matter how big or small, and not everyone is the same. Don't take me telling you that I have anxiety and I'm going through this and that's how I felt because somebody had said, you know, something like that the wrong way, because I don't, like, I obviously have a very, like, a mild enough condition of anxiety. Yeah. But enough that I have medication for it. Yeah. But I'm still very, very strong. Yeah. And I'm still very, very proud. Yeah. And I can't let that stop me from seeing my friends or doing things I enjoy, or because it has in the past. Yeah. Like, I'm not going to lie, it definitely has. It's pulled up problems in my relationship. Yeah. Because, you know, I'll say things or I won't want to do things that are really fun and, like, enjoyable and nice, and my partner could never grasp why. Yeah. Why don't you want to go out to the park? Why don't you want to go to the snow? Why can't you do this? And it's just because they instantly, you know, the first thing I think of is not something good. Yeah. But... I'm getting help right now. I think it's so important.
I'm proud of you.
I know, thank you. I think, honestly, even if you're not, like, going through really, really hardship, but you need somebody to talk to that doesn't know you, that has a really, really good background of knowledge on how to deal with certain things.
So, what I found is really good to help with... if you're struggling or experience anxiety, is to surround yourself with a really good group of people. And I feel like that's what you are to me, is a really good, passionate, supportive, uplifting person. And I feel like we've got like a good group of friends going at the moment, you know, that is like that. Yeah. And I feel like it's really important to surround yourself with positive people. And from experience, like surrounding yourself with people who just don't have the best interests for you, you know, is not good. But then also going through that and then losing friends is also a blessing to you as well, because you then kind of grow from that and you understand like what you should expect from a friendship and stuff like that. But I think that I like having you around as a supportive system.
Yeah, so do I, for sure.
Yeah.
I definitely think it's very good having real people.
Definitely.
Who
don't fake it.
No.
Who don't cover up their failures and their losses and their struggles, because at the end of the day, if you cover all that up, no one's going to be there for you because you're not letting anyone in.
Yeah. I definitely think you just have to, be real with yourself and real with your people around you. I mean, we all love certain people for certain things and certain traits about them, and that's all well and fun, but you have to remember at the end of the day that you are in your own life and you're living your own life, and you have to do what's best for you sometimes.
Exactly.
So, I definitely think surrounding yourself with uplifting people is very important.
You see all those memes online and they're all like, don't tear her crown down, wear it with her and stuff like that. You know, because I think in your 20s too, it's, you know, some people haven't figured it out yet that it's all about being kind and supportive to people. And I feel like we have figured that out, that there's more to life than being bitchy or jealous of people. I
agree, 100%. And I've always found that it actually takes a lot more effort to be horrible than it is to just be nice and to just be kind.
It's so easy to be nice.
I cannot fathom. There are some stories that you hear out there, or even drama that you hear with people you know of or something like that, and I cannot fathom, I cannot reach that part in my brain where people can kick up such a stink over certain things and be so genuinely mean
about certain things. It takes so much energy.
I know, it does. It takes the same energy that it would vacuuming your house, because you're going to certain people saying certain things or doing something certain, like, it doesn't make any sense to me to be unnecessarily horrible or, to people who doesn't matter whether you know them or not.
Exactly. And, I mean, if you've got enough energy to be negative and unsupportive and, you know, purposely like that to other people, then, you know, that also shows that you're not happy within yourself and you're liking what you're doing. So take that energy and put it into your life. Spend it on yourself rather than other people. Spend your negative energy on yourself positively. Than other people.
I agree. I started doing this, so like I said, I've been seeing a counsellor and stuff, and she gave me this app, and it's called Insight Timer.
Ooh, that's
I really wanted to talk about this today. So it's called Insight Timer, and so you search up like a good thing, and it's free, and you can search up all these different kind of like podcasts. They're like people talking about.
There's a lot of inspo ones out there.
Yes, there is, but they're not necessarily. This is like a kind of like meditation. So they do like one called like Body Scan, and you like listen to it, and it just like makes you kind of be aware, and it's all about bringing you back and like to where you are now and like that. Anyway, she told me this new thing because I'm trying to learn self-compassion. Yeah. Trying to learn how to be compassionate with myself. Yeah. Not just with other people. I always put other people before me. And a lot of people do that. Yes, so that's like a big reason why I'm kind of where I am now, because I always put myself kind of last. Yeah. So I'm trying to be compassionate with myself. And I read this, I listened to this podcast last night, and it was about self-compassion and everything like that. And it was just about imagining 3 people. A person you love dearly, who you're close to. Yeah. A neutral person who you might see every now and again or whatnot. And then somebody that is difficult. Somebody in your life that does cause a bit of strife. Right. And I knew exactly who these 3 people were the minute that I would do this.
You're like, you and you.
Yeah, like I 100% knew that. But when I got to the last person, when it was explaining how you should feel, so it's basically telling you what blessings to give these people and to make them feel happy, and to basically like imagine yourself kind of radiating all this compassionate thoughts and all these nice things. And it sounds really like quite happy, but it did really feel good. Yeah. And when I got to the last person, it was quite difficult because there's a few difficult people in my life. Yeah.
As we all got difficult
yes, 100%. But I chose this person not knowing that I would in turn send out positive thoughts to this person, because that initially isn't what I wanted to do. Yeah, yeah. And I thought they were going to tell me how to deal with this person, you know what I mean? But it ended up being, you know, may they feel love, and may they be happy, and may they be healthy and everything like that. And it really did make me feel that way.
You know what?
And like, it was so weird
I
sending
understand
out,
that.
like, I wouldn't say hate. I don't hate this person.
Yeah. Because you shouldn't hate anyone.
No.
Yeah.
And I think probably if anybody who knows me and knows my life situation, they're probably going to hear this and know exactly who I'm talking about. But that's fine. But I didn't expect to be sending those thoughts out and actually considering that person as a person.
That is really interesting because you know what? That only took me until last year to understand that concept.
Yeah.
So, anyone out there who really does not like a person or like hates them, I have tried not to hate someone.
No.
Our friend Scarlett, she always talks about how I don't hate anyone. It takes me a lot to hate someone. You know, she sees the good in everyone. So, someone that you hate, you only are like that because of the experience you've had with them and the relationship that has grown with that person. Everyone has a different relationship with other people.
Yes.
I have a different relationship with you than you have with other friends.
Yeah.
You know, it's really interesting. And so if I don't like a person, if I hate a person, that doesn't make that person a bad person.
No,
you know,
it
because
doesn't.
people probably hate me. People probably hate you.
Yeah.
I don't know why, because you're amazing.
I agree.
But you know, like you're an amazing person. Everyone is a good person unless you're like psycho murderer. Then you're not a good person. Sorry, this is excluding you.
We're not talking
you're
to you right now.
You're a murderer. But yeah, that's really interesting. So like I have sort of tried as well to do that, to just like think of someone that you really just do like, oh, they're just getting at your brain, and then you just think, just shut up, because they are a good person. They've got good relationships around them. They don't deserve it. Sure, maybe if they're like real, like nasty to you or whatever, you just gotta like get them out of your life as much as you can.
Yeah.
And then just sort of just send them good vibes, not directly because you don't want, oh my god, well.
Yeah, no.
But just, you know, clear the negative thought out of your head, because it is not healthy to have the negativity in your head in the first place.
And I think something that I didn't realise that was going to happen was actually how good I felt about myself.
Yeah.
And I knew,
that's good.
and almost coming out of it, I knew, okay, this person 1,000,000% would not be thinking about me in this light at all.
And that's
I know
okay
that.
if they're not.
Of course. But that just, and
clear.
that to me just shows more about them than it does about me. And that's fine. But I came out of that little session that I had last night of listening to this insight timer, and I was just like, wow, I didn't think that I could actually genuinely want good for this person.
Yeah.
And that made me feel better about myself, because I realised and I remembered that I am really kind and I do really care about people, and it doesn't matter what they do to me. I've always kind of like, you know, always lost friends or whatnot, you know, and I've always kind of still had best wishes for them. But when it comes to some really difficult people in your life, it's really hard to have those thoughts. So I was really proud that after everything I've gone through to do with this person, not necessarily directly in the last 2 years, I was really proud of myself that I could have those thoughts, and
that's good. That's growth.
100%. And I because I just did not expect that.
Yeah. No, that's good.
So yeah, I definitely felt a lot better, and as long as you feel better within yourself, it's gonna create better relationships with people around you, and even maybe those difficult people. If you you know, see them and you have that thought in your head, okay, I wished, you know, good things about you, I wished your health, and I wished you happiness, and all of this, then you might even have a better relationship with that person the next time you see them.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
and I mean, it's good to focus on growth, and no one's perfect. I definitely have moments where I find myself feeling jealousy, I find myself feeling anger towards people, but it's just important that you've got to remember, like, hey, stop it! You've got to be positive and just get rid of the negative energy, because it only is detrimental to your mental health.
Yes, it is everything that you are feeling. If you're feeling jealous of somebody, that's got nothing to do with them. Yeah. That's not affecting them.
That is normal, but two, you've got to get
rid of it. So normal. But I mean, just stop yourself when you're having those thoughts, because you don't want to be looking in the mirror every single day, because you know, you're going to be waking up to yourself every goddamn day. Yeah. So if you're looking in the mirror and you're feeling jealous of other people, you've got to nip it in the bud because you're going to be miserable.
Exactly.
There's, I mean, obviously there is things you can do to change your appearance or whatnot, but
and awful people, that is another subject in itself.
If I had enough money, trust me,
but
I wouldn't be lying.
Let's not touch on that today because we might get people like, excuse me.
This would be a 3-hour podcast if that was what
we were doing. It would be like a 24-hour podcast. Yeah. The beauty standards of the world.
Oh wow.
Yeah. But no, that's really.
But it was just it made me very proud of myself, which in turn made me feel a lot better because it worked.
That is self-growth, being proud of yourself.
Proud of yourself.
Proud.
I agree.
And you know what? There is this, there's a girl on Instagram at the moment doing something really interesting that I've been following for a while. I don't know her personally, but I've been following her for a while. Her name is Jolene.
Shout out Jolene.
Yeah, shout out Jolene. Jolene.
I actually think I know who you're going to talk about right now.
Yeah, and so I've been, and she's doing something really interesting. She's been sharing a lot of inspirational stuff, and it's really focused on self-growth. And she talks about like having sort of like, you could call it like an epiphany about who she's meant to be and what she's meant to radiate. It's really interesting. So I think that you'll go through certain things and you'll figure out, the way that you're meant to be. But I think everyone should be kind and positive and uplifting.
And I think in amongst the busybody lives that we all have, I think it's so important to figure that out. I think it's so important to actually just kind of sit there and listen to the insight timer, or just have some time on your own, or even though people say like, have a bath and do a face mask and all that, do whatever makes you happy. But I think it's really important to actually learn about yourself. Because so many people out there, they've got to go to this event, they've got to go do this, they've got to go do that, they've got to go get their eyebrows done, they've got to go get their lashes done, they've got to go all do this. And that's so much fun, and I love doing that. I love being a girl who can go and, pamper herself and all that. But I think it's so important to actually just figure out what you want to be and who you want to be, because you can change it instantly. If there are certain things you don't like about your personality, like your jealousy or your insecurities, I think you can really work on it. Yeah. And you need to spend time to do it. And it's not a switch that you can just flip. No. It could be years. Found that. I used to have a real problem with anger. I'd get angry over a lot of stuff. And I still do get angry. Ask my boyfriend. I definitely get angry over like stupid little things. Yeah. But I'm working on it. But I used to be really bad with that. Yeah. So it's just all about kind of almost spending the time with yourself. You have to be better. Yeah. To work on the things about yourself that you want to work on. I definitely think another thing for me is like I've been made, I don't think intentionally, but there are certain people in my life who do make me feel guilty or bad or insecure about spending a lot of time on my own. Right. But I really do like it. Well, keep doing it. It's cold outside. I like to snuggle in my nice new bedroom, and I like to watch Netflix, and I like to actually just chill out or do whatever I like. I love that. I've had a few people who make me feel quite awkward for doing that and feel like I'm almost a loser for doing that. But I think, you know what, they're probably doing that too. Well, no, but the thing is that they like to surround themselves with lots of people, and that's fine. I like that too. I'm very in the middle. I'm very quite an introvert as well as an extrovert. You know, I can be both. It's fine. I love social situations, but I also love to be at home in the warmth with my cat, just chilling out. You know what I mean? Yeah. And they don't realize that what's come with that is thoughts and growth and figuring out what I want to do and yourself. Exactly. And I think in the last couple of years I've become a lot more organized. Good. Other than today, I'm normally on time when I tell you I'm going to be there. Yeah. What coffee are we getting? Well, I try my discussion. Yeah. But, I have made a huge effort to make sure I'm there on time, make sure I'm organised, and to be really, really nice. I've grown up with a lot of people in my life who aren't very nice, just for no reason. They're really, really not nice, and I've just always thought, I really don't want to be like that. Yeah. So I'm not, The first initial meeting of people, I'm always friendly and welcoming and quite an open book. Yeah. Unfortunately for me sometimes, but I think that's what comes with spending time on your own. I don't want to be a 30, 40-year-old who has no idea what she is doing or have a facade of this is who I am, when really you're going home at night and you're kind of like, I hate being on my own. Because you can't. You know what? And that's probably
working on yourself and figuring out like who you are is probably then going to lead you to figure out what you want to do.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's good that you're sort of like, you are actively spending the time with yourself to grow, and then that will then, because I don't really know what I want to do with my life, even though I'm like sort of doing something that could lead to something. I sort of also don't know what the future will hold. I've got so many ideas in my mind of things that I want to do. Like I want to do stuff to do with charity. I want to be fully self-employed, and but also like I don't know, because that might change. My whole idea of what I wanted might change, but I try to spend the time to grow myself.
Well, because do you see
by watching Netflix in bed with a candle lit and relaxed melodies, rain playing.
But see, like, if you were just on the go 24/7, people around you all the time, how are you going to be able to grow? Because you're so busy doing everything. There's nothing wrong with that. I love being busy. I love running errands.
Yeah.
I love doing everything that I possibly can, like, on the weekend or whatever. But you need those times to just have that set timer of like, this is just, I need to figure out what my next step is going to be. I need to start dreaming, and it's going to make you a lot more positive within yourself and your life if you can kind of like imagine what's going on in the next few years of your life. And if you have the time to do so, then it will definitely help you out a lot. And don't feel guilty of that. Do not feel guilty because you don't want to go to your friend's house because they're all pre-drinking and going to town, or they're all having a girls' night and you're not there. Don't feel guilty about that. Like, if you want to stay home, shave your legs, fake tan, paint your nails, do whatever you got to do. Like, my boyfriend absolutely cracks up because if I'm ever in a bad mood, he'll instantly be like, I'm going to go out for a little while. You need to sit here and tan. Like, he'll instantly be like, have you got Bondi? Because it's going to make you feel better. Yeah, he knows that you feel good. He knows I'm spending like a couple of hours in the bathroom just doing all my business. Yeah. And I will instantly come out just like, not because of my appearance, but that definitely helps with confidence. Yeah, exactly. That's my relaxing time. Put on some YouTube. Tana Mojo, hi if you're watching this. I love that for me. Jake Paul, if you're watching this. But like, I watch you guys every night. But like, you just need to take the time to do what you want to do. Doesn't matter what that is. Take the time to do genuinely without telling people, without having the bragging rights of doing what you're doing. Yeah. Just do it because you want to.
Exactly.
No matter if it's bloody not showering for 3 days and sitting in your room and wearing track pants.
If that's your thing, like, do it.
Get it, girl. That's a good thing to do.
Well, that's cool. So we've been chatting for nearly an hour now, 50, maybe 40 minutes or something, because I know that it took us a bit to start it off.
Yes.
But this is our first podcast, so I think that we've done quite well with it.
I agree.
That this was just sort of like a bit of banter about the vibes that we want to project with these podcasts, and so to finish it off, not sure how people end these things, but hopefully we'll have you back, because
I will hope so, because I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, I find that we really like chatting about stuff like that.
Yeah, I think that was good. I think I definitely would want to come on here again, and thank you so much for having me.
Well, it would be good to hear from the listener or the viewer or whatever, what they want to hear from Hypegirl next, and like who you want to see on here. I thought it was really important for me to bring on my friends, like my real life physical friends, because we have like a really good support group, and I wanted to, bring that to the Hypegirl page and podcast. Like, I wanted to give an insight to our dynamic, because I find that I've just like really like got a solid, supportive friend group, and I'm like proud of that. So I'm like, I really wanted to bring that to the table.
And all of us like to talk a lot, so it's pretty good.
So let us know what you want to hear from us next. Hopefully that was entertaining / inspiring / relatable, and let us know your story about your anxiety, or what you're struggling with in your 20s, how you're growing on with yourself, what you're doing and what steps you're taking towards your dreams, because I'd really love to know. It'd be interesting to hear what, the response from people. If anyone ends up watching this anyway, one view. We're like, hey guys, hey all of you, one person.
So what do you guys think we should do next?
Yeah, the one person's like, I want to see ass.
Talk about something raunchy.
Yeah. I really want to talk about aliens one time.
I think definitely
That's not Hypegirl related, but you know what? Hypegirl is...
I think this just needs to be a space of talking about what we want to talk about.
I want it to be inspirational. I want it to be relatable. I want it to be a source of uplifting and positive vibes for you. If you're not getting that from somewhere, I want to bring that to you. And I also want it to just be banter
and
between
comfortable.
Friends. Yeah, comfortable, casual talk, and then just talk about random topics as well, like aliens. Thank you.
Exactly.
So next podcast is about aliens. They exist, they're out there, they're watching us.
Did anybody go to the Area 51 raid, or is that just a lie?
Yeah, was that just us that went?
Yeah.
Alright, well thank you so much for watching. It has been fun.
It has been a good time.
Yeah, should we get our teacups? We've just spilt some positive tea.
Cheers.
Okay, bye.
Bye.